Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome back, friends. Dusk was bleeding into night when I saw them. My parents, two silhouettes against the fading light, stood on the old bridge with a wooden crate between them. They moved in a silent, synchronized rhythm, as if they'd performed this grim ritual 1,000 times. A heave, a splash. The crate was swallowed by the churning, half-frozen river. They didn't wait to see it sink. They just turned and walked away, their work done. I should have left, too, but curiosity has always been my curse. The water was a knife's edge of cold. I waded in, my shoes filling with icy water, my breath plumbing in the air. The current pulled at my legs, a warning I chose to ignore. Then I heard it, a faint, muffled whimper. My heart froze. "Please be empty," I begged the air, dragging the heavy crate toward the shore. It wasn't. The rusted nails gave way under my trembling, frozen fingers. Inside, wrapped in a sodden, thin blanket, was a baby. Alive, crying. My first thought wasn't why, it was who. My parents, John and Margaret, were pillars of the community. Church every Sunday, garden club presidents, the hosts of the annual neighborhood barbecue. But I grew up behind that perfect facade. I knew the ice in my father's silence, the sharp calculus behind my mother's kindness. They didn't raise children, they cultivated assets. My brother Thomas was the golden heir, the lawyer. I was the disappointment, the art student who never married. But I never imagined they were monsters. I took the baby home. I warmed her, fed her sugar water from a spoon. Her cries softened and her wide, blue eyes found mine in the dim light. In that moment, I knew I couldn't go to the police. Not yet. I had to understand. The next morning, I returned to the bridge. Fresh snow had erased their footprints, but not the wide tire tracks from my father's truck, leading back to the old storage shed near the orchard. Inside, I found my answer. 3 more crates, empty, each bearing dark, stained interiors. And on a dusty table, a ledger. Names, dates, amounts. A ledger of adoptions, but not the legal kind. My parents weren't just would-be murderers, they were traffickers. That night, sitting in my childhood bedroom, my whole life rearranged itself into a series of cold, calculated transactions. Every forced smile, every manipulative Christmas gift, it wasn't about family. It was about protecting the business. That baby wasn't their first mistake. She was just the first one who cried loud enough for me to hear. So I began to plan, not for their arrest, but for their ruin. Justice was too clean. I wanted the truth, public and humiliating. I contacted a friend from art school, now a photojournalist. I told him I was working on a documentary about the dark corners of suburban life. He agreed to film, no questions asked. For a month, I documented their lives. I recorded conversations, copied pages from the ledger, and followed their movements. They thought I was finally reconnecting. My mother even preened for my camera, a fatal vanity. When I had enough, I gave my friend the footage with one condition. He would release it only after the family interview I had arranged. Sunday morning, our pristine kitchen. Coffee steamed, biscuits sat on a porcelain plate. The camera rolled. "Tell me about the family business," I began. My father frowned. "You mean the farm?" "No," I said, my voice dangerously quiet. "The other one." I placed the ledger on the table. Then I showed them a still from my footage, the crate, moments before the splash. My mother's smile shattered. My father's hands began to tremble. The camera captured it all, the dawning horror, the realization that the daughter they'd always dismissed had become their executioner. I looked directly into the lens. "Some families grow crops," I said. "Ours grew lies." The story led the national news 3 days later. Respected couple linked to child trafficking ring. Their world evaporated. Friends, lawyers, all gone. The police came, and I didn't watch them take my parents away. I was upstairs, holding the baby as she slept peacefully. They never confessed. They claimed I forged it all, but the evidence was undeniable. Sometimes I visit the bridge. The river runs quieter now, as if unburdened. I look down into the dark water and think of that night, the splash, the cry, the moment the scales fell from my eyes. I feel no guilt, only a cold, clear certainty. They threw away an innocent life that night, and in doing so...
Thanks for watching Past Quest. If you enjoyed the journey into history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the past. See you in the next quest.